Welcome to the Gameweek 1 team selection. This is not a locked-in team, but most of these players will certainly feature in the finalized squad. Southampton were the third best team after the restart last season, losing just one of their last 9 games, and conceding less than a goal a game. All this despite having to face both Manchester sides and Arsenal during this run. Ralph Hasenhüttl seems to have turned the Saints around after a poor start to the season, and there's every reason to believe that McCarthy could be the treasured 4.5 million set and forget option. Mourinho likes solid defenses, and Spurs certainly bettered themselves in that regard by the end of the last season. We like to think they can improve even more in this area, and with the good fixtures, a Spurs defender seems like good value. Doherty might be worth the extra million, but he might also be better as a wait and see. He played almost as a second striker at Wolves, but with players like Dele Alli and Kane already in the box, Mourinho might not give Doherty the same freedom he experienced at Wolves. He was the second highest scoring defender last season, with just 2 goals and 2 assists fewer than Alexander-Arnold, which was supported by his underlying numbers too. Whilst it's likely that Trent will still lead the team in these areas, Robertson has registered 12 assists in each of the last 2 seasons, and if Liverpool hit double-digit clean sheets again, then there's every chance he will prove value at his 7 million price tag. He was the highest scoring defender in the league last season with an incredible 210 points, and yet his 7.5 starting price is actually lower than in July's Gameweek 38. Although Nico Williams has been blooded into the first team by Jurgen Klopp, there's no reason to believe he is a serious threat to Trent's minutes, and it would surprise no one if he registered double-digit assists for the 3rd successive Premier League season. Southampton scored the 5th most goals in the last 9 games of last season, bettered only by the top 4 sides in the league. Armstrong started 6 of these games, scoring 2 goals and 3 assists in that time. If you can't afford Southampton's best player Danny Ings, then Armstrong could be your way into the Southampton attack. They also have decent attacking fixtures to start the campaign, but probably not quite good enough for a double up in attack. At 5 million, he provides a great enabling option to allow managers to fit in big hitters elsewhere, and he has scored 2 goals in the West Ham's 4 pre-season friendlies, to add fuel to the fire that was already burning bright after 3 goals in his final 7 games of last season. A tough run of fixtures may put some off, but at his budget price, many will consider keeping the Czech midfielder for the long haul. The Egyptian king has 107 fantasy involvements in 108 matches for Liverpool, which is absolutely astounding. Liverpool will expect to contend again, and with Salah's explosive potential, he will always be a player capable of catapulting anyone who owns him up the overall ranks. Liverpool only face one of last season's top 7 in their first 7 games, and Salah could punish anyone who braves that run without him. Son has been a model of consistency during his 4 full years in the Premier League, scoring between 11 to 14 goals and 8 to 13 assists every season, to always prove a reliable source of points. He's been kindly priced at 9 million, given the fact that he began at 9.5 last season and finished at 9.7 million, and he could really hit the ground running with some kind fixtures through the first 8 weeks of the season. With his goals now worth 5 points each after being reclassified as a midfielder, 20 goals would give him a baseline of over 170 points, which would put him 7th in all midfielders last season, before even counting clean sheets, assists and bonus. He should score similarly to Salah and Mane this season, and will be a valuable captain option on a weekly basis. The mercurial Mitrovic burned many a manager during his last stint in the Premier League. Although Mitrovic's discipline is still in question, there is a perception that Fulham are a much more savvy proposition this time around, and if he can keep his head, 6 million seems astounding value for a striker who fired in 26 goals in 41 championship matches last season. Chelsea have completely revolutionized their squad in the transfer window, splashing cash left and right to enable them to challenge Liverpool and City for the title this season. One of their most exciting additions is Timo Werner, who managed a phenomenal 28 goals in 34 matches last season. And if Werner hits the ground running, this may be a train that you either jump on quickly or get flattened by. That was the first team. Now let's take a quick look at the bench. Thanks for watching, and let us know in the comments about your dilemmas.